Well, hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
And welcome to a new episode of Is That a What is it? Oh my God. Is
Owl
that
bear.
an owl bear? A D&D podcast. Wow. Wow. Stumbled there for a little bit. I'm Cristina. I don't know words. But
And
I'm
I'm
here.
I'm and I'm Joe. I know a little bit of words, a little bit.
I'm sorry, I was just excited. Okay. I'm just really excited because the new season of RuPaul is coming out, and a friend of mine is actually in it. And I am so excited. And as you guys know, this is a Dungeons and Drag Queens podcast. So Megami, my
Mm-hmm.
darling, Megami NYC, follow her on Instagram because she's fucking amazing, and she has been amazing, and she has been royalty day one. And baby, you finally made it. You've been working for this. I am so happy for you. Just snaps.
Snaps.
You know what? Snaps.
Snaps all around.
I'm here for it.
It's a big deal.
And she's such a nerd. She's a D&D nerd too. Like
really.
anime, Marvel, and D&D hardcore. She's one of us. Megami is one of us.
One of us. That is amazing. I hope she does well. It looks like a fierce cast. I saw a couple of the girls and I was like, this looks really like I'm excited for it. In
so
all
excited.
transparency, I have a little bit of a Drag Race overdose because it was like there's like 27,000 franchises, and I
you did this to yourself is the only thing I can say though.
Yes, yeah. So I'm gonna watch the regular season and I'll start probably next year, and I'll like the also equivalent to other
so
countries.
you're gonna deprive me from speaking about Megami in this podcast.
No, I'm gonna watch the regular season because I'm also watching UK because UK is also hosted by RuPaul. The cast is always good. UK is like my third favorite franchise. So
remind me to make a soundbite of all of this because I want to post this on the socials and tag Megami on this because we love a nerd and we love her. So fuck yes. All right. Okay. That's all I have.
Is her drag nerd related, or is that just a part of it?
Like no. It is. She does a lot of cosplay.
That's
like
fantastic.
she does a lot of cosplay. We love Megami. Like she's family. She's Latin. Okay, Megami's a Latin bitch. She's a thick Latin mommy, and we're here for it.
That's amazing. Dude. There's also a Panamanian on Drag Race this season.
I'm gooped and gagged.
It's the second Panamanian on Drag Race.
What?
We don't talk about Serena Chacha, but like we can't talk about Serena Chacha. She hasn't done anything cancelable except be herself.
That's sad. Oh no.
No, but
in honor of Megami, I just go with that.
The second Drag Race girl that is from Panama is Tsunami Muse. She's Candy Muse's drag daughter. All
right. Fuck yes, Queen. I'm definitely watching the season because all right. You need to understand that just like Joe overwhelmed himself with Drag Race content, I have deprived myself from it very much on purpose because I have too many streaming services. It's more than paying cable now, and I will not get Paramount Plus, period. So now that we have, a cousin from Panama and, Megami is a cousin as well. I don't care what anybody says. I am definitely going to be catching up, being on top of, watching every week because we're going to be informing all of you what is and what is not happening on RuPaul. So brace yourselves.
On our D&D
podcast,
we're going to be telling you what happens on Drag Race.
Correct.
I wonder how many of the people who listen to us actually have like that common interest, or if they're just kind of like, can they stop talking about Drag Race?
Drag Race is to cosplay as D&D, as tabletop is to fucking LARPing, okay? Like it's a different flavor. We all want to LARP. If you're saying you don't want to LARP and you're a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, you are lying to yourself. You want to feel this in the flesh, whether or not you want to admit it or do it or actually do it doesn't change the fact that you wish you were your wizard. You wish you were that paladin that you have been playing. So,
yeah, but like I'm not 100% sure that wishing you were your wizard makes me want to LARP. Those that is a like a what's it
listen
called?
to me.
A fallacy,
A fallacy.
no,
Look,
a false truth, a false something
a false
equivalence.
statement, a false. Okay, all right. Yeah, so a fallacy. All right. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. However, like in an ideal world, we would all be able to LARP and it would be not but listen to me, we would be able to LARP and it would be quality wardrobe, it would be quality non-lethal weaponry, it would be appropriate like just fucking amazing epic dialogue. But the truth of the matter is that not everybody brings that level of quality to a LARPing scenario. So even though we all have our hopes and dreams, they keep being held by duct tape. So we all want to LARP, but we want to LARP correctly. And that is just not the situation, honey. You know who LARPs correctly? Drag queens.
Yes. But I mean, talking a little bit about LARPing, it's a perfectly valid hobby, and I think it's really cool for people who enjoy it. I just
Absolutely.
like that level of immersion is not needed for me. Like I don't need that.
Okay.
Because in years past we have had sessions where we dress up, and that's fine. But
those were so fun.
They were, but the reality about me as a person, Joe, is I can't be bothered. Okay, so like, wait, let me explain. Like, I just, it's too much effort for little reward. Like LARPing for me, and the same reason like why I don't cosplay. I think cosplaying is one of the coolest things in this world. I love seeing them.
Fucking expensive.
But me as a person, Joe's like the reward isn't like it doesn't justify the expense. But that's me.
And the effort.
Yes, the effort, like and I can't be bothered. Like I'm tired. And that like, but that's I'm tired, Cristina. Tired. But the truth is, like, this is coming from a guy who I own all the D&D books because that price does like feed my hobby. So it's not me shitting on other people. It's just for me personally, that's not my hobby because,
and that's totally okay. It's like okay. So no,
I remember there was a moment that I was going to try to do like live, like LARPing in Panama for Vampires the Masquerade. And I met with a guy and it was a whole thing. And this guy was very into it. And he was like, we have to be serious. Like I was this incredulous, like 20-year-old. I've always wanted to make D&D like my job, like be a thing.
I can attest to that.
Yes. Like I've always wanted to be in the tabletop world. And I met this guy and he was very serious. He's like, his voice was deep. Said, we have to be serious vampires if we're going to LARP. And I was like, what is happening? Like, and I was like,
no.
Because for me, I always say silly D&D is best D&D. And that means like you can have your serious moments, but also the silliness of the, like, it's a game and let's have fun and is one of the
that is the main thing. That is the main thing.
So like, if you come at me and you're like, we have to be serious and we are vampires
and don't get me wrong, like I am a performer through and through. That is my profession. That is what I do. That's how I pay my bills. So I take performing extremely fucking seriously. And I respect LARPing. But part of the beauty of the game, part of the beauty of being in a D&D campaign is the silliness. It's you know, like just having a good time with your friends. Mad props and full respect to anybody who LARPs because that is a big commitment. I personally also cannot be bothered. I feel like I want to live in a world of fantasy, and I want to live in a world with the aesthetic of the fantastic character I would love to be playing. And for that, I have Renaissance fairs. Because honestly, I could not, like, I feel like there's a way to make LARPing interesting and just an epic. There is a way. I have friends. I have good friends. Shout out to Caitlin. She basically has a troupe of, they're all actors, and she basically has a troupe where she is a dungeon master. And they get together regularly to like basically improv a session, which is absolutely fucking amazing. And they're all fantastic performers, but that takes commitment, training, because we're talking about people who are also actually trained in stage combat. So a lot of the things that I've seen them post, it's absolutely fucking amazing. They all met while they were working at the New York Renaissance Fair in Tuxedo Park, and they all decided to do this and to create this campaign and to like have this fun, which is amazing. Not everybody can achieve that. Not everybody can make that work. That is not your wheelhouse, baby. Just because you were on that one play tree number 3, you will not. Will not.
But it's for me, it like D&D and LARPing obviously kind of, they kiss, but they don't sleep together. Right?
They kiss,
like,
but they don't sleep together.
Correct. They kiss, but they don't sleep together. Like they're related. And if you do one, you can probably do the other, but you don't necessarily need to do both.
Oh man.
And for me, it's just I don't mean, I don't want to sound like redundant, but it is a big kind of, it's such an effort, the cosplaying, the costume making. I want to use the correct terminology, but like if you're in a Renaissance fair, are you like I'm not even sure what the correct terminology is. Are you cosplaying? Are you in a period costume? Are you playing dress up? I don't know what it is.
To be completely honest, I'm not sure, but I think that all 3 are correct. Like if you are, the thing also with Renaissance fairs is that there are also themed weekends and themed days. So you can show up one day and it's fucking steampunk theme, you know? So you see a lot of people with kind of like a steampunky costume cosplay. They could be cosplaying steampunk characters. I have seen a lot of people who get around like just wearing whatever kind of cosplay they want to wear to the Renaissance Fair because it falls into one of these niches, like just like I mentioned, steampunk, or it could be like it could be a pirate weekend. So you have all of the different kinds of sea creatures or wenches or pirate kings or whatever you want. You can have a Luffy from One Piece because that's a piratey anime. So like you can incorporate all of these different characteristics and all of these different peoples and characters within the space of the Renaissance Fair because of these themes. So you can have a LARPer, you can have a cosplayer, you can have a person wearing a costume. They are all valid.
And I think that is like super cool, that it can be kind of this themed activity, and it changes per day, per event, per week. And I think what is cool. The most cool is that it's like you can go to several, and they're always gonna have like a different flair, I guess. I mean, there's no Renaissance fairs in Panama, so
no, there aren't.
I mean, we barely have a geek scene, so
it pisses me off because everything geek related that involves Panama goes to Costa Rica. And like, if you know me, and you don't know me, so like audience, let me tell you something about myself. No hate, no shade to anybody from Costa Rica. I have friends and family from Costa Rica. Pura vida, Mai. But I, Cristina, as a Panamanian, have a bit of a grudge against Costa Rica as a country.
Because of el incidente de la tajada de sandía.
All of that, yes, because of that. Also, because apparently I had an uncle, a great uncle, my grandma's brother owned a lot of land in Costa Rica, and the country seized the property at one point. So I could have been growing coffee in Costa Rica and have a bunch of money, but no. So I'm a little grudgy, okay? I'm a little angry.
Not sure if that's how land ownership works, but here I'll accept your random.
It was like over 70 years ago. So yeah, so I have no business being angry. Not over 70, actually more like 50. I have no reason being angry. I still am. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm going to go to Central America and have such a great time. I'm going to go to Costa Rica. And I'm like, why don't you go to Panama? It's right there. And you don't have to, like, you can use the dollar. It's right next door. But then, so yeah, so that's my thing. I wish Panama had more of an anime scene, but Costa Rica takes it all.
Panama, I mean, we just started not just started, but we have our little Comic-Con going on for like
that's true. It's been going for several years now. Yeah.
They brought Diggle from Arrow.
Yeah, okay.
Like they've brought people.
They brought the voiceover actors for Goku and Vegeta, the Mexican ones, which is a big deal for the Latin American community. That is huge. So
huge.
That's huge. So
huge. Well, but what are your thoughts on medieval times? Now that we're talking about LARPing.
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna out myself here. I have very conflicted feelings about medieval times, because I think that I know full well the medieval times was the very first taste of like dress up and LARPing and like dining theater and interactive theater that I experienced. So even though it's trash, even though the food is greasy and really not worth it, even though the price has gone up exponentially for no reason, and even though the cast members of Medieval Times have been striking since the beginning of the year, and people continue to forget about them because my union kind of like also started striking, and it was a little bit more crappy. Anyways, I'm going on around in circles.
What union?
I like it.
Huh? What union does Medieval Times fall under?
I think that they're an IATSE chapter. Like the IATSE, yeah, it's a whole thing. No, I wouldn't know, but they're still striking.
Medieval Times for me also, I don't have all the complicated feelings that you have for it. I don't know. I've seen some people like shit on Medieval Times
a lot
online. And the reality is I went there once when I was visiting
Orlando,
Florida. Yes. And it was, as a young person who was into medieval shit, it was like one of the best days of my life. Like I don't care. I don't know if they've done anything controversial. I don't know. I'm not up to date, but I see a lot of people are like,
that's fair.
Medieval Times. And I'm like, as a foreigner who has no idea what's happening,
it's the best fucking time you'll ever have.
That was amazing. I was like,
it was fantastic.
Oh my God. And like
I wanted a night to give me something. I wanted a handkerchief. I wanted something.
My knight came in fourth. Yeah, he came in fourth. And I was like, you're so close, buddy. I remember it was just so fun. And I think yeah, so I don't know.
I love Medieval Times. I know, like we had a completely different subject today.
But here we are. Let's keep talking about LARPing.
All right, sure.
But we don't have enough information about LARPing.
I think we can make it work. All right. So just to wrap up on Medieval Times, to honestly, yes, it was, to me, my very first experience with medieval times. It was wonderful. Yes, it is problematic. It is. We're not going to change that. Like, all of these places are great for the experience, but they do not treat their workers well. That aside, what it fostered within me, what it created within me, it's definitely one of the main reasons why I am a D&D nerd. Like, without a doubt.
How many
Without a
times have
doubt.
you been to medieval times?
Too many.
Okay, I've been once. So
I've been 3 times. That is too many. That is too
sound
many,
like
though.
too many times. I would go if I were back in Orlando. I would go back. Is there only one medieval times?
No, there's one in Atlanta too, I think.
Let's go to Atlanta. Florida.
No.
Wait, we. It sounds cheaper than Florida.
It is, and
so let's go to Atlanta.
Honestly, Atlanta's been doing some pretty dope shit, so maybe that's a maybe for me, dog.
Oh well, actually all I know about Atlanta is that it's really hot there.
Because it is.
It's like a fucking cesspool of heat.
Don't call it that.
No, that's what the actors, that is what the actors from Walking Dead, like, they would be like, we're just existing in our zombie makeup and we're melting.
I actually submitted today to a gig that would be shooting in Atlanta. So hopefully I hear back from them. And it would be in January, like from January through February. So it's not going to be hot. Thank goodness.
Like,
because that sounds absolutely disgusting. Yeah, no, Panama is a cesspool of heat. It is.
I think I would just call Panama cesspool.
Oh, mic drop for Joe.
Sorry. So what I know about what I find a little, I don't want to say comical, but like the LARPing stuff with the foam, that you kind of run around with like foam swords, and there's like things you got to do to hit people. And I've always wondered if it's based on D&D, do people run around with like dice in their pockets and like little trays where they roll them?
That is a great question. I don't know. know. And I think that would be fucking hilarious. But I think it would be, yes, but I think it would be even better if it were like one of those like massive chest boards and you like roll the humongous dice.
That sounds like a different game. That doesn't sound like LARPing. That sounds like D&D Giant.
But but why can't we have both? Like,
fair. You know? I approve.
Like, I've seen a lot of videos of, and by a lot, I'm lying. It's like maybe 10 at most. That's not a lot.
What?
But like, there's these whole events, like these massive LARPing events. I might not be into LARPing a specific scene or session or have continuous sessions of LARPing, but if it were an event, a one-shot event that's LARPing, like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I would run to that. Like,
I have in that line, like when we used to play murder mysteries, isn't that kind of LARPing? You dress up and there's like, it's a live action role-playing.
So what you're saying, Joe, is that we do LARP, just not medievally.
I mean, sometimes it was medievally themed.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes it was medievally themed. A lot of times it came with fangs.
A lot. I mean,
that was mostly it.
Yes.
That was mostly it. Yeah, I would say that when we've done the murder mysteries, it's a little bit like LARPing.
An umbrella term for any activity that's live action role playing, like LARP. I think there's a lot of, you can, at least the way I'm seeing it, you can definitely fit a lot of smaller activities into that bigger scheme.
You absolutely can. Now that you say it like that, yeah, I think that there's just a stigma behind the term LARPing.
Yeah,
that doesn't allow people who are not members of that community or who are willing to consider that activity. There's just kind of like a reluctance to admitting that. But to be honest, like, let's be fucking honest. A lot of people love murder mysteries. I am one of those people. You are one of those people. I can pride myself with saying that I brought murder mysteries into our group of friends.
You did.
And we all fucking love that shit. If you're dressing up and you have a character sheet and you have goals that you have to follow within that character that was provided for you in this scenario, is that not LARPing? Is that not live action role playing?
That took a bit.
It did. I was like, wait, girl, what are you saying? I got confused. But seriously though, but for real.
I think it should be. And I don't know. I wonder why it has that stigma to it, because I guess when I was growing up, like if like regular humans or whatever you want, like non-geeky people used to make fun of geeky people. Geeky people used to make fun of LARPers.
Correct.
And
like, listen, we were an excluded groups of peoples. We had to hurt people, you know, hurt people.
Yeah, but like go hurt, like, I don't know, football players. I don't hurt.
No, they can hurt you more. But because I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby.
Demonetization. So
no, but I hear you. Like, we were in a position where we were, as geeks and nerds, we were being made fun of, and now we live in a society where that is, you know, mainstream, super mainstream. So people are, you know, reclaiming their time and being like, just because I am doing this thing and I am choosing to find joy within this thing. So I think that the stigma with LARPing has gradually started to be removed. I think that it's still kind of like you kind of like do a second glance and there's a little bit of a like grimace.
I mean, it's still jokey, right? Because even in Hawkeye, it was kind of a joke that there was a LARPing group. Right?
That LARPing scene for Hawkeye was absolutely fantastic. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was like,
that's like a Hollywood produced LARPing scene. LARPing isn't that.
That's what I'm saying, though. It was taking place in New York. I am not saying that I know exactly a similar situation, but there probably is. Like, if there is a humongous LARPing event in Central Park in the middle of the summer, although that was taking place like right after Christmas or around Christmas, that's some bullshit. Nobody, and I say nobody, is going to be dressing up for LARPing in the winter like that, unless you think that you're all in Winterfell and you can accomplish getting yourselves coats that are period appropriate and that warm. Fuck you. This is a summer activity. Period. Did I rant again? I did, didn't I?
You did a little bit. But is it? I mean, yeah, because that is. I mean, women with like the shoulders out and just it's very cold. Or at least the way I imagine like the Renaissance, because it's very like cut here.
Yes, it's very. There's the bustiers like, are predominant. The form is.
I guess you can wear like a little cape over your shoulders or like a little shawl.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, granted, the clothes that you can choose to be wearing for your character, like there's a very big possibility. There's a likelihood that you're gonna get like overheated in whatever it is that you're wearing. So perhaps maybe not a summer activity, probably more like a fall activity, because
isn't fall like 2 weeks?
Yeah, global warming, man. We never know when fall is anymore. Like, legit, there could be no fall at all. Fall this year was sketchy at best.
A day.
But anyway, a little bit.
Fair.
But like, I think that, like I was saying, I think that the stigma with LARPing is only gonna get lesser of a problem. You know what I mean? Like the stigma is going to get gradually removed because it has become part of a just more accepted mainstream kind of activity. There's currently a huge demand for kind of like interactive theater situations. So if people have the money and they want to experience a high-end LARPing situation, believe me, there is an audience for it. There is an audience for it. There is an audience for everything. So I'm actually looking forward to LARPing becoming a little bit more accepted. Will it be obnoxious? Yeah.
I don't think it will be obnoxious.
Some people will be.
I'm in like I just go back to LARPing, like what I said at the start. I just can't be bothered. Like if people like it and enjoy it, go love it, enjoy it. I will root for you over here in the shade wearing my comfortable sweatpants and t-shirt because everything else.
You're always saying that you wish that you could play more because you're always the DM, you're always the storyteller. So you know, you would like to be a player or a member of the audience. Maybe you can just, watch LARPing.
Watch LARPing from afar.
Watch it. Just like that. No, thank you.
It's like, I'm happy you're having fun over there. But because we're running out of time, I've sent you an image of what seems to be an angry two-headed dog that's kind of walking, aggressive, drool coming out of its mouth. It has almost a mane of hair and one whipping tail back and forth. What am I?
That's a bipolar hyena.
Cool. That's
final answer.
That's your final answer? That is a deaf dog.
A deaf dog?
Not a deaf dog.
Oh, a deaf. TH. I was gonna say, what's your problem with this dog? Like, why? Like, come the fuck on.
It has 4 ears. Why would it be deaf? Like, that would be really unlucky. It actually has advantage on its perception checks.
Well, look at that. So
it has 4 eyes and 4 ears, so it can really see and hear. But the reason I chose to pick this one is because this is one of the lower level enemies. It's like a challenge rating 1. But what's fun about challenge rating 1 enemies, or what you can do with them, I mean, you can obviously use them in bigger battles as minions and kind of just like throw them at
higher level menacing as fuck
in Horde. Yeah, but what I do, make an alpha and make it like challenge level 10. So give it all the skills that it has. Because we were talking a lot about balancing in previous episodes. So all the skills that it has. So if the bite is like a 1d6, make it be now, because it's a level 10, make it be like a 5d6 or 4d6.
Mauling
make
power.
It have multiple attack, 1 per head, give it claw attacks, maybe the tail whips. And if our players are too overpowered, toss in some legendary actions and fuck them up.
Fuck them
also,
up.
Give them some life, give them some extra life, because they currently stand at a measly, I can't find it, 39 HP, which when you're higher level, that is just like,
that is like smite. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's like
goodbye,
an attack
thank you.
or 2. So make it like a, I don't know, 250, 250, 200 HP. And just comes
about right. And give him some
give
size.
It a group attack. Yeah, give it like a pounce attack, where it can like jump in and attack several people at the same time. Or like the tail whip, something like that. And that's how you can. Yeah, because we were originally, this episode we were going to talk about homebrew, but we just got carried away with LARPing. So we'll talk about.
It's fully my fault. It's fully my fault. I got very excited about the drag queens.
About LARPing and the drag queens. the LARPing drag queens.
The LARPing drag queens.
But yeah,
I wanted to be like a troop. Anyways, yes.
What? No troop.
I wanted a troop of LARPing drag queens.
Work. Next episode, we're gonna be actually talking a little bit about the sessions that I got going on, recapping like highlights from last month from different tables. and giving good examples of like one of the fun stuff that we found. And we talked a little bit about the cliffhangers that we were on, so I'll talk a little bit about the resolutions and how they ended that. So look forward to that next episode, and then we'll probably the one after that talk about homebrew, which homebrew, what it is, the lore, and all that good stuff.
Amazing. So now you know you got stuff to look forward to. So thank you very much. Wow, words. Thank you guys for being here. My goodness, am I struggling today with my words. We are your hosts. We love you. Cristina clearly needs to leave because her brain is wrecked. But you can find me on the socials as Crispa Contreras on Instagram and Twitch, and Crispa120 on the platform formerly known as Twitter and TikTok. You can find both of us on our collective socials, Owlbear Pod on Instagram and on YouTube, and Owlbear Pod 1 on Twitter. And Joe, where can they find you? My goodness.
You can find me on Twitter, and just Twitter, because fuck this X bullshit, at Joe Harrell. You can find me at Start Playing under DM Joe. You can find me on Discord in Chimera's Den. You can find me on that's it. You can't really find me in a lot of places, but those three are the big ones where you can find me.
Thank you, everybody. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.